Hey guys, welcome back to Candid Cinema. I'm Amanda, otherwise known as AMX NDA Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Today I will be reviewing The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 5, called Truth. And man, oh man, was there so much honesty in this episode that we all needed. There are a couple of great things about this episode. Number one is that this was an hour long. We really needed this to be an hour long. That's why I'm hoping the finale is about like an hour and a half, just because we have 6 episodes and there's so much left to see, and we want to have these characters completely fleshed out for the next time that we see them. This episode was great for so many reasons. A, it was an hour long. B, there were so many great conversations. The dialogue was so well written. C, there was fantastic character development, and we're going to get into that. And then they ended in a cliffhanger. I'm so excited for next week. I'm really excited. Is it Friday yet? Do you know if it's Friday yet? Because I need episode 6 in my eyeballs as soon as possible. So let's dive into this episode. We start off with John Walker completely unhinged. He saw red in the previous episode, literally when he was beating one of the Flag Smashers to death, and he was running away to this warehouse. So we see John Walker get these flashes of the person that he was when he was beating the Flag Smasher. And in that given moment, he was a completely different person. The serum took over him. And now that he's in a very calm environment, a very quiet environment, he's not in a frenzy and he's with his own thoughts. And again, Wyatt Russell, what a performance in this episode as well. So we see him really process what the serum did to him in his mind, and he knows that that's not the same person. So when he does get enraged like that, the serum takes over instead of John Walker the soldier fighting. So we get to see that kind of duality and that struggle within his own mind and his own body in this case. And then we see our besties, Sam Wilson and Bucky Barnes, enter the warehouse, and there's a shot of the three of them, and it reminded all of us of Civil War. We know which fight we're talking about with Tony, Bucky, and Steve. This time it is Sam, John Walker, and Bucky Barnes. Bucky does really well in like a trio fight, as we know. So it was really interesting to see that kind of callback, that parallel. And there were so many parallels in this fight. Now, to start off the episode with this amazing choreographed fight scene, unreal. I knew that Bucky was going to take that first swing. I knew he was going to do it, and I was happy that he did it. And the whole time he's really just fighting for Sam, which is what I loved about it. So yes, did Sam go head to head with John Walker? He did. He took some swings, but I know everyone's going to be like, but Sam used the serum. He couldn't even handle a super soldier. And it's like, well, he couldn't handle an unhinged super soldier. That's the difference. Because he was going head to head with Carly. Did he win? No. But again, that's the writers. It's not Sam saying you can't do it, guys. It's the writing of Sam Wilson trying to fight these people. So there's that, which makes complete sense. But we see that Walker is slowly just breaking down. And there's that one part where he goes, I am Captain America. And then you're kind of looking at him like, relax. Please take several steps back. Relax. It's literally not that serious, my friend. So there's that whole part, and Bucky's just going to town on him. He's really letting his anger out in a healthy way, I think. It's a very healthy way, but also someone pointed out on Twitter, I forgot who it was, Bucky was hitting him with his human arm, his hand. He was hitting him with his human hand. So what does that necessarily mean? Does it mean that he didn't really want to fully kill John Walker because he didn't use his metal arm? Or is it the fact that he wanted to actually feel the punches while he was hitting him? That's a question that you can really look at. If you want to answer it in the comments, feel free. But why did he choose to hit him with his human fist. I didn't understand that. But again, I pose the question to you guys, is it because he wanted to feel the punches while hurting him and kind of tarnishing the shield? Or did he just not want to actually kill him? So that's a question. Feel free to answer in the comments. So moving forward with that, and this is where I'm going to get into the parallel of John Walker and Sam Wilson. We see them as their conditioned alter ego that the government put in place. They did not choose this. They were voluntold to be put in this position. So the Falcon, they told them like, this is like a special ops, all that, like we're gonna give you the wings and you're gonna learn. So that's what they kind of pushed onto Sam as the Falcon. It is a pushed character on him. It's a pushed alter ego on the Falcon. And then we have John Walker, who was a soldier, a very decorated soldier, Medal of Honors, all of that, knows how to fight. He is the perfect soldier. He says it in this episode. It's like, you made me like this. You constructed me and conditioned me to be this Captain America. So again, that is something that is pushed upon John Walker. It's not who he wants to be. It's not who he was destined to be as Captain America. So we see this, like these parallels. And in this specific episode, we see that John Walker is on top of Sam Wilson and he rips his wings off. Now, this is a deconstruction of the Falcon and who he was told to be versus who he is meant to be. And he has been shedding his costume, his Falcon costume. Red Wing was ripped away from him and like destroyed. His wings are now ripped away from him and destroyed. And then he ends up giving the wings to Torres afterwards, but we're gonna get into that a little bit later. But also with John Walker, he's completely stripped of his title. He's stripped of everything, his title, his retirement. Damn. His retirement, guys, that's a lot. So he's stripped of his title, stripped of everything. He's no longer Captain America. So as the fight goes on, Bucky and Sam have such great teamwork that they end up breaking John Walker's arm. And I had a conversation over at Movie Files Live, and Elliot ended up saying that, like, where were they when we needed to beat Thanos in Infinity War? I'm like, yeah, that's accurate. Like, they just, one swift motion, they broke his arm, and they removed that shield. So then Bucky grabs the shield, really just a parallel to Civil War. He throws it right beside Sam Wilson. There's still blood on it. No one cleaned it. Why wouldn't you clean it? And I know it just happened. I get it, but it's just, ugh, this is so gross. So that moment, this is the first moment that I cried in this episode, was when Sam got up and he looked at the shield and there's blood on it and he's running his hands over the blood. He's really like just, he has the shield, but it's just a different perception of it, dipped in blood in what John Walker did. So he gets emotional. You see that Mackie, again, gives an incredible performance from beginning to end in this episode, in the entire series, really. So he gets emotional and I'm prompted to cry, obviously. So after that ends up happening, we see Torres. We see Torres and Sam ends up giving him his set of wings. In the comics, Torres does become his Falcon. So if it's a little nod to that, are we gonna see him next week? Is he gonna fix the wings and be like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a go. Why not? I've seen Sam do it. I've helped him out, his flight patterns, all of that, the choreo in regards to how to use it. Is it a possibility? Because when Sam turns around and says, keep him, it's like, well, yeah, of course. Like, you're gonna have a totally new suit coming, and did happen. So in this case, we see that John Walker, like I said, goes to court, kind of strips away everything, gets really heated, and it was just such a great moment for Wyatt Russell. Like that was more of a spotlight moment, I think, for him than in previous episodes, because it was literally just him on screen. Then he walks out of the courtroom, goes to sit down with his wife, and we hear footsteps. We see the heels, we see the camera moving up, we see these glasses, and I'm like, I know this nose. I know this nose. And then she takes the glasses off, and I was like, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Oh my God, that was just a fantastic reveal. And that is how you do it. Because Julia Louis-Dreyfus is a television icon. She is so decorated, and it is just a perfect casting for Madame Hydra. She's perfect. She's perfect. Then we have the second moment where I completely bawled my eyes out. And again, you can go check it out over at Geekly Goods. Our reaction to episode 5 was when Sam Wilson went to visit Isaiah Bradley. I don't even have words for that scene, other than the fact that it was just such an emotional conversation. It was very honest and realistic in what Isaiah Bradley was saying. Carl and Anthony Mackie, they had great moments in this specific conversation. And as actors and people who consume films the way we do, and to be able to see that kind of conversation on screen in discussing racial issues in America was really, really important. Just one of the most heartbreaking conversations that I've ever witnessed on screen. So after that really heavy scene, the tears were real. Sam goes back to his family to go help fix that boat with Sarah, and you could see that this is where the episode slows down. And a lot of people had kind of peeves with it because it slowed down, like it was up here and then you just brought it all the way down. But at the same time, like that level of pacing worked. Those really quiet moments were necessary because we have to remember that Sam is processing everything that Isaiah Bradley told him. He's thinking while he's fixing this boat. He's thinking about that. He's processing everything he said. We see that Sam is calling upon his neighbors to come help out with the boat and all of this, and it's always like, oh, the Wilson family, and you know, of course I'll do this for the Wilson family. And it's his name. His name is important. His name is important apart from the shield. That is what they're doing in this episode. It is the legacy of the Wilson name and his own community. That is what's so important, and that is who makes up Captain America. It's the name and the spirit and the drive of the person. These small moments that they put in this episode they're really important for Sam's character development and who he is and his legacy. It's his legacy as Sam Wilson in this world and not as Captain America. So then Bucky pops up, and I was just like, oh, besties. You went to go see him in his hometown. Like, that's awesome. And they help each other with the boats, which is great. And you just see a different side of Sam and Bucky, and you see that they're genuinely friends. They are friends. And then you see like Sarah and Bucky flirting, and I thought that was really cool. That was really nice, because we have to remember, and everyone keeps referencing the first Avenger, it's like he was pulling dates, like double duty for Steve too. Like, he was pulling dates for his boy, right? So to see happy, smiley Bucky Barnes, I thought that it was just such a great moment. For Sam to welcome Bucky in, like, that's a huge deal. He respects who he is. He fought with him for that, for that period of time, and he's really going above and beyond for Sam Wilson, which I think Sam really appreciates now, right? And he sees that, so he's like, yeah, of course you can stay. Here's the important thing, and I did mention it on the show on Movie Files Live yesterday. Bucky had suffered from PTSD, and in the very first episode, we see him sleeping on the floor. Of course, he's had nightmares and all of that. We understand that. And he has tried to cope with his trauma, but he ended up sleeping on the floor because he just couldn't sleep. He couldn't sleep. Here, we see the morning after, and Bucky Barnes is sleeping on the couch with a pillow underneath his head. That is called growth, but that is also called trust. That's called comfort, and that is him being calm and secure with where he is and who is around him. That is what Sam gives Bucky, and I'm tearing up right now because that is just such a beautiful friendship to me. Friendship to me. So after that, the boys go and play catch with the Shield. These are two men who have fought together, who have lost a mutual friend and have struggled with that loss, and that they've bonded over all of this because they've been together technically since Civil War, and they understand each other. They're the only ones that understand each other in regards to what they lost and how they are as an Avenger. Both of them, they're just expressing how they feel to each other. It's the deep talks that we don't necessarily see, but it's just so important. That tough love you can only get with someone who you're very comfortable with and someone that you trust enough to open up to. That's the difference. Those conversations show that there's so much trust, honesty, respect, and love between the two of them. That's why it's so well written, and that's why that specific scene is so important for both of them to grow as friends, as colleagues, as whatever else you want to say. So it works, and I thought it was very well written, that scene. And we have this glorious training sequence of Sam Wilson with this shield. And let me tell you, this man does not need the serum whatsoever with the way he was flinging that thing around and catching it quite effortlessly. You know how much strength you need to throw around a vibranium shield, and he's not even a super soldier? I don't want to hear shit from people that he's not strong. He's training himself, and guess what? He's doing the work. He's doing the work and what he thinks and what he believes, his own training of what he wants to do as Captain America. He's taking control. He's calling the shots. The government is nowhere near him in running who he is. This is all Sam Wilson. No one knows where the freaking shield is. No one knows where the shield is. Okay, that's the important thing here, is that Sam is fully in control of who he wants to be and his legacy and who Captain America is, what Captain America is going to do. We cut to a scene of Sam opening up the gift. What's in the box? What's in the box? The gift that is from Wakanda. That's Bucky Barnes put in a special order for his boy, so we know that there's some vibranium in there, 100%. And we end on a black screen. Why aren't you showing me what's in the box, friends? Come on, I need to see. But if it is what I think it is, then that reveal in the next episode is going to be absolutely insane. And guess what, guys? I'm gonna cry again. I'm gonna cry. I will cry, as per freaking usual. So that is the episode. I've kept you guys here long enough, but oh my God, fantastic. I am so excited for this finale. I can't wait. You guys can always find me over at AMX ND Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Come join in on the conversation, guys. I can't believe we have one episode left. I'm so sad. Oh. Well, I'll catch you guys later. Keep watching movies.